What were you doing?
What were you doing?
Hey, look who's here. Sis.
Hey, look who here's sis.
What a surprise.
Is surprise.
Hey, I didn't expect to see you here.
Hey, I didn't expect to see you here. Please join me.
Please join me.
How was your day, Julia?
How was your day, Julia?
Oh, I had an awful day.
Oh, I have enough for day.
It seemed to be such a lovely day at the beginning. I was sitting on the balcony, drinking a cup of coffee.
I seemed to be such a lovely day at the beginning. And I was sitting on the balcony drinking a cup of coffee.
The sun was shining. Someone was playing a violin in the street.
The sun is shining. Someone is playing a violin in the street, and I was enjoying a beautiful afternoon.
I was enjoying a beautiful afternoon. I was feeling hungry, so
I was feeling hungry, so I needed to make spaghetti.
decided to make spaghetti. But I realized that I didn't have any tomato sauce.
But I realized that I didn't have any tomato sauce.
So I went to the grocery store to buy some.
So I went to the grocery store to buy some.
After buying a few items, I finally found the tomato sauce.
At the grocery store, I finally found the tomato sauce.
I was reading the label.
I was reading a label when the jar just fell out of my hand and fell down.
When the jar just slipped out of my hands and fell down. There was glass and red sauce.
There was grass and red sauce all over the floor. The splatter trotted all over my suit.
All over the floor and splattered all over my shoes. I looked around and noticed
I looked around and noticed that everyone was studying me.
that everyone was staring at me. People were smiling.
People were smiling and whispering to other people
and whispering to each other. Soon I noticed that I was
leaving a trail of red footprint through the store.
leaving a trail of red footprints through the store. I found a grocery store.
I found a grocery store and I know what I had used that often to have cleaned up, but he declined.
Store worker and let him know what I had just done. I offered to help clean it up, but he declined. I was so embarrassed.
I was so embarrassed that I wasn't even looking where I was going.
That I wasn't even looking where I was going. And I
knocked over a display of chips.
over a display of chips. I was just standing there in shock.
I was just standing there in shock.
A manager was walking by me that very moment.
A manager was walking by me that very moment, and not the mess I had made.
Went and noticed the mess I had made. I was expecting her to be angry.
I was expecting her to be angry, but she wasn't. She said they would take care of everything.
But she wasn't. She said they would take care of everything. She was smiling.
She was smiling. Maybe she was thinking about how clumsy I was.
She was thinking about how clumsy I was.
Oh, poor you, sis.
Oh, poor you, sis. I'm sorry you had to go through this. It was just a bad day.
I'm sorry you had to go through this. It was just a bad day.
And there's more.
And there's more.
While I was waiting to pay the checkout,
While I was waiting to play the checkout, I really forgot my wallet home. I was naughty.
I realized I forgot my wallet home. I was mortified.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So what did you do?
So what did you do?
I apologized.
I apologized and left all my shopping here.
I left all my shopping there.
Maybe you're too tired and stressed out.
Maybe you're tired and stressed now.
You should take a few days off from work and get some rest.
You should
Yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
get a rest. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know, I called you yesterday at about 8 p.m.
I called you yesterday about p.m. 8 p.m. but you didn't answer. What were you doing?
But you didn't answer. What were you doing?
You'll never guess what happened yesterday.
You never guess what happened yesterday
Evening.
evening.
I was sitting in the living room watching TV when I suddenly felt
I was sitting in the living room watching TV when I suddenly felt a strong smell of smoke.
a strong smell of smoke. It was coming from the corridor outside our apartment.
It was coming from a corridor outside of the apartment.
I opened the door
I opened the door and saw the smoke at the end of the first door.
and saw smoke at the end of the corridor. Mrs. Brown lives
Mr. Brown lives here.
there. I grabbed the fire extinguisher
I grabbed the fire extinguisher and ran towards her apartment.
and ran towards her apartment. I opened the door
I
and
opened the door and there's a big fire. The sun was beating loudly.
there was a big fire. The flames were spreading quickly. I put out the fire as fast as I could. Then I saw
Mrs. Brown in the evening room. She was lying down on the floor.
Brown in the living room. She was lying down on the floor. She was screaming for help.
She was screaming for help.
Help! Help!
She was bleeding.
She was bleeding.
I called the ambulance right
I called the ambulance right away.
away.
Oh, poor Mrs. Brown.
Oh, poor Mrs. Brown. Is she okay now?
Is she okay now?
Yes, luckily she's fine.
Yes, luckily she
But what
died.
happened?
But what happened?
It seems that the fire
It seemed that the fire started by some candle that were burning in the living room.
It was started by some candles that were burning in the living room. Mrs. Brown was dozing off
Mr. Brown is dozing off when the fire started.
when the fire started. She woke up, and while she was trying to put out the fire,
She rose up, and while she was trying to put off the fire, fell down and broke her arm.
she fell down and broke her arm.
She's really lucky to be
She's really lucky to be a real. Thanks to you, you are real her.
alive thanks to you. You're a real hero. And where were you, Isabella, when all that happened? What were
And where were you, Bella, when all that happened? What were you doing?
you doing?
I was taking a shower,
I was
so I didn't
silent.
notice anything.
So I didn't notice anything.
But when I came out of the bathroom, I felt
But when I came out of the bathroom, I felt the smell of smoke and knew something was going on.
the smell of smoke and knew something was going on. And I soon found out everything.
And I soon found out everything. I heard things turned out the fire and see in the end.
I'm glad things turned out fine in the end. I'm so happy to spend
I'm so happy to spend so more wonderful evening with my brother and my sister in work.
such a wonderful evening with my brother and my sister-in-law. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.